Well, well, so this is how One World Under Doom looks like. Very interesting. How interesting? We'll find out on the other side. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again. And we have another figure from Hasbro, Marvel Legends. And you see him in the package right there. It doesn't read Doctor, it reads Emperor Doom. And this is taken from the, I believe, just recently concluded storyline, One World Under Doom. And it's about Doc. He finally got his greatest wish, his foremost desire of becoming ruler of Earth. And he achieved that by taking advantage of the very rapidly deteriorating situation in a previous storyline, the previous major storyline in Marvel from 2024 that involved Blade and vampires. It was called Blood Hunt. And what ended up happening was uh, we were, meaning the Earth, the world, the Marvel's heroes, were basically on the ropes. And that includes Doctor Strange, the once and former Sorcerer Supreme. And he ended up having to make a deal with the figurative devil, being Victor Von Doom. And the price for Doom's help to get over the blood hunt was to give up the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. Doom jumped on that as soon as everything was cleared up with the blood hump and the vampires, and he took over. And that led to One World Under Doom, which was the following, the very next storyline, which, as I stated, recently concluded. Anyway, you see Hasbro wasted no time jumping on that because, for one, it's a quick put out because they already had molds for Doc already in. We've had several versions of Doctor Doom over the years, and the latest one was in the 3 pack, the Cabal 3 pack for the Marvel's 85th anniversary, and now we've got this guy. All they had to do was just give him a Sorcerer's Supreme cape, the Doc's cape basically, and the Eye of Agamotto. And here we have it. So we're going to check out the box. You see what's going on with the packaging. Not many accessories, a couple of extra hands, and some green Eldritch style effects. We've seen them before. In fact, we've seen that same color before with Doc Doom. We've got the Doctor Doom logo at the top. We've got a very imperial looking piece of artwork of Doctor Doom on one side, and a thumbnail showing other artwork, Doc with the nose, on the other. And in the rear, we've got some more artwork showing him going up against, well, not going up against, he's actually just towering over all the heroes who are bowing to this cat. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I've been reading the storyline, and I'm about to read the penultimate chapter, meaning the second from the end. And right now, believe it or not, Doom is on the ropes in that storyline, but I'll say no more. You guys may want to check it out for yourselves. We do have a readout. To stop a vampire apocalypse, Doctor Strange must give the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme to Doctor Doom. I just said that. But now Doom has further plans to save the world, one world under Emperor Doom. And that's where the title of the storyline is derived from, One World Under Doom. And we're about to take a look here at the world of Ruck to see what Emperor Doom looks like. Here's a look at Emperor Doom out of packaging, still in the clamshell. Like I said, all you get is a couple hands and a grasping right hand, and it looks like a trigger finger. Uh, Actually, it's a grasping left hand. My bad, you all, and a trigger finger right hand. And of course, there are those Eldritch, which we've seen a million times, effects. And here are those effects close up. Same, we've seen them before, translucent green, kind of like an emerald green, two different shades of it. And yeah, they just wrap around the hands or wherever you want to get them. So there that is. And then we have the extra set of hands. You got the left grasper there. You know, you got to have a hand like this for Doctor Doom. And then here's the trigger hand. And that, you know, it makes sense because Doom usually carries a firearm. So, you know, I guess we can say that that makes sense with that. But the problem is, now that we have the full bodied shot of Emperor Doom, is that this version of Doc does not come with a holster and a sidearm. So the need for a trigger finger hand is no bueno. However, you know, since he is a sorcerer, you could fake it till you make it and pretend that that's a gesture, you know, for a spell or something. So, you know, I guess you, once again, you got to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's make this work. Here's Doc in his full glory. You can see the differences. He's got the cape that the cape of levitation is what it's officially called, and I'm finding something kind of some inconsistencies about this. I just got through reading a legacy issue, or you know, when I say legacy, when you know they keep Marvel keeps rebooting their titles, but they still keep a general count of how many issues said character uh, has been in, has had under his or her name or theirs if it's a team, and he had one, and I believe it commemorated his 450th issue, so it was giant sized. And there was a story in that book that basically explained um, the the capes or cloak, if you will, uh, behavior recently in like the last several years that almost humorous. We all know the real deal why Marvel, the comic company, started doing that is because the cape in the movies in the MCU was acting, you know, bring comedic elements. And for some crazy reason, I've never agreed with it. I'm not a fan of it. Marvel Comics always seems to adjust and adapt their comic characters to accommodate the the uh, the patrons of the films who may start reading the comics while totally forsaking those that basically got them where they are in the position to make these movies. Anyway, um, he found out that the cloak is sentient. I'm not going to go into details of how it's sentient, but it's sentient and it has a, for lack of a better word, personality. Um, the inconsistency I'm finding is if that's the case, it's been said that the cloak chooses its wearer. So how does Doom have it? Only way I could think of is Doom has got some sort of sorcerer's spell on the cape to bend it to his will, which makes perfect sense, you know, and you can work that into any storyline. Anyway, he's got the cape, cloak of levitation. You could see that he's got the Eye of Agamotto over there, and he changed his garb. His tunic actually has a symbol on there, and he still retains his big old belt and buckle. It's different colored than what we've seen before, and other than that, he's essentially the same as far as this goes. And you look at the rear, nothing going on. I'll lift up the cape so we can see anything going on in the back. He still retains his jetpacks back there. That's the when I say he retains, I mean the figure. I don't know if Doom himself has him. He probably does, you know, contingency in case somehow he loses control over the cloak. But he still has his jet backpack or his jets that are affixed to his back on the back of this figure. Looking at Emperor Doom close up, you could see the mask there, as always. You know, very menacing. He's got the hoodie. He's got the hoodie there. You know, got that going on. And of course, we went over the cape. This is the cloak of levitation. We've got the yellow outline. We know that from seeing it on Doc Strange. and red, both sides, and you get a better look at that emblem on his chest there. And then you have his belt. The belt, of course, is molded in plastic, but we've got some paint there for the big buckle. Um, it's a silver paint, kind of like gunmetal grayish. And then, of course, Doom. There's not much to him in terms of his armor. It's going to be gunmetal grayish kind of armor. And once again, you could tell this is uh, an older figure, because even though it's accurate to how Doom's armor is with these elbow protectors, I'll call them, they do a lousy job of protecting us from seeing the pins. So this is pinless. That to let you know how old this is. The same with the legs. You can see the pins there. So it's totally old. The only thing different really is the design on the tunic and the cape. And they did some things with his portrait. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll turn it to the side so maybe you can. But his eyes are green, and I mean they are green. And yeah, I think right there you can see what I'm talking about. They changed the eyes inside the mask, so you do have that. That's a little bit different. Since we're close up, we may as well get a better look at the eye of Agamotto. You can see that it's opened up, trying to get a view of the world that Doom has made in his own image. And yeah, pretty cool. As far as articulation is concerned, we have seen it before with the version that came in the Cabal 3 pack, the 85th anniversary Cabal 3 pack. We'll go over it here. His head is on a ball hinge, and that makes it a little problematic because you've got the hoodie as well as the cloak of levitation hindering going back. He could look down that much. Hard to tell because of the cloak. I mean, because of the hoodie. And you, of course, you're going to get your 360, and you've got your pivot going on there. As far as T-pose, if I took off the cloak, you could probably get a full 90-degree T. And of course, once again, if I took off the cloak, you get 360 it. But since he's supposed to be with the cloak on, then that means the articulation you get with the cloak is what you get. You've got I don't believe, yeah, we do. It's in there, nicely hidden by the armor. You've got your bicep swivel, and of course the aforementioned pinned double jointed elbows. You've got the swiveling wrists that hinge horizontally. As far as the torso is concerned, it is on like a ball joint there. So you're going to get all your rotation, left, right, side to side, and you're only going to get your bends that much going forward. And it can get kind of a little bit going back, but you're going to get impeded. It's going to bounce back, snap back to being straight up and down, unfortunately. As far as the splits, this is what you get. There are slits in the skirt to give you more range for that, but of course that's not going to do much for the forward kick. You're only going to get that much, once again, because of the skirt. And back, you only get that much. You do get the thigh cut, the double jointed pinned knees, as you can see there, and no swivel at the calf. It would break up that sculpt anyway. It wouldn't look good. But we can, in terms of toe pointing, you're not going to get much. You only get that much. That's because it runs into the back of that armored leg, lower leg. And going up, you get that much. You do get pivot, but the pivot is impeded once again by the armored leg there. You've got holes at the bottom of the feet. So that is the articulation on Doctor Doom. As always, it has always left somewhat to be desired. Here's a look at Emperor Doom side by side with Doctor Doom. And yeah, your eyes ain't playing tricks on you. We've got a soft goods bandy wire cape in effect. You know how I do. Here's Emperor Doom with the once and former Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Stephen Strange. Yes, indeed. He got basically Schneidered into giving up the mantle in order to save the world from the blood hunt from Varney, the first vampire, if you didn't know about that. And yeah, so anyway, checking a look at both of these. This Doctor Strange, by the way, is from the very recent Doctor Strange and Wong 2-pack. I believe that was an Amazon exclusive. I could be wrong about that last part. Anyway, you can see the slight differences in the cape. And but they both have their eyes of Agamotto, and they are shaded different on both of the figures. Anyway, you can see that our boy Steve is a little bit distressed that he lost the mantle. One thing I'll say about the storyline is when you have somebody like Doctor Doom, Victor Bavon Doom, having holding the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme, you really get to see the potential of Doctor Strange and how powerful he could demonstrate. We've all known how powerful Doctor Strange really is, but he doesn't exploit it like Doom does. And I figured I may as well get in on the comparison fun by displaying my role play Doctor Doom helmet. Yeah, and you knew I had to pop out the third-party effects. We have got the hex effects, and I knew I had some greenies specifically for Doctor Doom, and here they are. Well, one of them. I've got a pair, so just so you guys know, you know how I do it. Then, of course, we have the diorama, but in particular, you're noticing the throne. It's got that D on it. Yes, I have a throne for Doctor Doom, and it was made specifically for the retro Doom that I showed you previously. I think I failed to mention that that was the retro carded Doctor Doom with the soft goods bendy wire cape, and this was made. I had this made specifically, or this was acquired specifically for him because he's able to sit with some doing, because that articulation was again leaves much to be desired. But the cape can remain on him and be draped over the throne, so that's why this has gone down. And I've got it in the man cave with a few other throne sitting individuals: Thanos, the Black Panther, Kang. So looks pretty cool. They're all on the individual wall shelves. One day I will do a tour of that wall. But getting back to the figure, Doctor Doom, or excuse me, Emperor Doom, One World Under Doom, is it's basically the same figure we've gotten before, with the only changes being the eyes inside the helmet and the tunic, and of course the change of capes. He now possesses the Cloak of Levitation, and that's what we got going on here. So it's really kind of like a one-off. You don't really need it unless you're into that storyline, and you've already got some great ideas for how to display, or you're a completionist, neurotic style like yours truly, or you just want to get the figure, or not, because it really isn't necessary for the collection. This is a niche thing, one-off, and you could do without it, but you can't front. It does look good aesthetically. It looks good, the subpar articulation notwithstanding. It looks good, especially when you come up with scenarios like this. So let me know what you guys think below. Conjure up your opinions down below, and let me know what you think. It's a pass or play. Let me know what you got to say. Also, hit the thumbs up, like, or whatever. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the notification bell, and then you will know when I upload another video. And I will be doing so soon. But until that time, all I can say is, all hail Emperor Doom. Peace.